Good morning, everyone. We'll start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, and I just pray for each and every one of our county employees for the safety of their job, and I pray for the people of Linn County too. Just, thank you. Give us the opportunity to come together to do county business, and I just pray that we do the best job we can. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I'll make a motion. We approve the minutes from March 2nd, 2026 as written.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I'll make a motion. We approve the claims in the amount of $703,955.16.
Second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I'll make a motion. We approve the adds and abates in the amount of $15,896.06, 2025-00257 through 2025-00276. And that's my motion.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye.
Need to sign the top
I
one.
think, is that what we're doing now?
That's what we do, just sign the top one.
I'll make a motion. We approve the safety footwear boot reimbursement for Robert Turpin in the amount of $200 for 2026.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. There's that. And then this month, the claims, these have already been approved, but we'll be paying AMR in the amount of $97,916.67. And we'll also be paying, is it Trico? For $11,646.50. Those have already been approved. Any changes to the agenda? We're going to be adding Marina under Public Works. We're adding an executive session, 10 minutes, 75-43-19 B2 for potential litigation under Fire and Emergency Management, and a 5-minute executive session under Fire and Emergency Management, 75-43-19. What was that one for? B2 as well? B2.
I would like to add 10 minutes for non-elected personnel for job performance from the appraiser department. I don't have the number for. With the 2 commissioners and the counselor.
Did you say 10 or 5? Sorry,
10.
10. Okay. Non-elected personnel, 75-43-19 B1. Commissioners and attorney. We also need to add an executive session under Public Works for financial matters 75-43-19 B4 for 10 minutes with Jesse, the commissioners, Jacqueline, and clerk, and Joni. B4, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Jacqueline, do you have anything today? Did you say no? Oh, okay. Anyone else? I'll make a motion. We approve the agenda with the noted changes.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
AMR. Do you have AMR's report?
Got it, but I don't have
I
it
don't.
pulled up or just.
All right, AMR monthly report. Doesn't look like they're in today. We have Blue Mound at 14 calls, 4 transports. Centerville, 2 calls, 1 transport. Lacine, 23 calls, 9 transports. Mount City, 12 calls, 8 transports. Parker, 2 calls, 0 transports. Pleasanton, 14 calls, 11 transports. 4 calls for Prescott, 4 transports, with a total of 71 calls and 37 transports. Average response time for all 3 districts, 18 minutes and 25 seconds. Thank you. Sheriff's report. You have it pulled up?
Total prisoners 56. Farmed out 0. Farmed in 35. 911 calls 72. Total jail contacts 5891. Total calls for service 795. Total civil service papers served 11. VIN inspections 13. New cases open 41. Cases closed 17. Vehicle crashes 8. Bailiff contacts 96. Livestock out 1. SRO calls for service 115.
Thank you. Randy?
Good morning, Commissioner. Randy Hegwald, Linn County Rural Fire and Emergency Management. Last week's call totals for 3/9 through 3/15. We had 5 wildland fires, 3 EMS assist, 1 motor vehicle accident, 2 utility pole fires, 1 rubbish fire, 1 crash detection, and 3 mutual aid calls. Weekly total of 16 brings our yearly total up to 141. Also, over the last couple of weeks, we've been out doing a couple of speaking engagements on fire safety and also career day. During both of those, I was asked by community members to look into our junior firefighter program. I wanted to put this out, let you guys think about it and see what you thought. I'd like permission to talk to the insurance company about lowering our junior firefighting age to 14. And see if we can build that program. We have a lot of kids at 14 and 15 that would really like to start that program. That would give us 4 years with them, and then possibly let them move into a firefighting career later on after school. But just wanted to get your thoughts on moving forward on that, or for or against it, or.
Explain the way that works again, Randy, just so everybody knows.
So the junior program is, we almost treat it like if they're in sports right now, it's limited at 16. They're allowed to, some schools in the districts or in the county allows them to respond during daytime hours if they're caught up on their homework. They're passing grades, just like a sports team. If they're good in school, they're allowed to do that. Any other time, evenings, weekends, they're allowed to respond with the fire department. They cannot drive any county vehicles or do any interior fire attack. They're allowed to do training and all that alongside the firefighters. So,
How do you communicate with them? Is it with the radio or?
the fire department uses a phone paging system. So most of the time I just put that app on their phone where they get that notification, hey, they got paged to this fire or something like that. Once they're on a year or so and been trained, then I will give them a radio where they can communicate with us on scene. That first year or so, if they're on a fire scene, they're either stuck to my side or I send them out with a senior firefighter to work with them and learn what they do. So,
Do you see any problem with that, Jacqueline, as far as dropping the age 2 years? I mean,
I was just looking online. I don't know. Is it the NVFC? Like the National Firefighter Program?
no,
Okay.
it's just a program we set up in county.
Okay, because that one shows the ages of participation vary by your local department based on their local and state regulations and other factors. Please contact your department directly for age requirements. So I guess I would just like the junior fire program, what are we basing that off of then? Is
It's
it
a program we've got.
Kansas?
It's
it
a program that
national?
we've done in Linn County. We're not basing off any other program. This is what we're doing in Linn County.
I would like to see us follow some sort of state or national guidelines, like an actual program.
So the federal ones you just read, they don't have that's why I'm trying to figure out this age thing, because the federal one doesn't even say, hey, this is the age group. It's up to the locals.
Yeah.
I know before, when we started this program, I talked to David, and David had talked to the insurance, and he recommended 16, but I don't know I didn't speak to the insurance directly.
Go ahead, Jacqueline. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, my research into this was what he's suggesting, that it is department specific, which would be insurance specific. Many fire districts do have the junior fire department. Some of them go ahead and use that national logo, alley that you just found a moment ago, to sort of highlight what the benefits are of that junior fire program, as well as the idea is for acquisition and retention of firefighters, either in our department or just as a firefighter generally, to expose them early to see if they would be interested long term. So I would be fine with the inquiry as long as we do run that by the insurance.
And that's what I was looking at, is even if the insurance says, hey, no, they can't run fire calls, but they can come to station meetings, they can help cleaning trucks and stuff like that, just to expand our program to get those kids in that program and retain them a little bit longer.
I don't have an issue with it myself if you get, as long as the insurance
Okay.
says.
I'll check, and I'll reach out to some other departments I know and see what their rules are. I know this week I have a chiefs meeting for Southeast Kansas. I'll just reach out to the Southeast Kansas chiefs, the ones that are there, and see what kind of programs.
You good with it, Alan?
I'm fine with it. Again, like I said, though, I would like to be more affiliated with a program that we're following, curriculum based. What are we teaching the kids?
Okay.
I would be more in favor of that. So they're not just coming in and cleaning a truck. There's actual education that they're learning that we're going by.
Okay.
That's just my opinion on it. I would like them to actually maybe have something they go through and then they get a certificate when they're done, instead of just, do you know what I mean?
If you can check.
Yeah, and
But yeah,
we
look into
keep
that.
track of any of the training they do. We keep track of all that anyway.
Or also like, what are other counties doing? What are other counties next to us? What are their age requirements? Just
Okay.
What are we?
I'll check with insurance and check with local chiefs and around and see, and give you guys, bring back a proposal
not-
in a couple weeks.
I'm not against it.
I'll get a proposal put together and bring it back after
Yeah.
I do some research. So
Sounds good. Thank you. Did you go into executive, or you have anything else?
no, the only other thing is this weekend we were doing some cleaning at the office, going through some outdated gear. I know in the past they had us cut holes in that gear, toss it away. new council this time. I just didn't know what your guys' thoughts on either seeing if other departments wanted it or cut it and get rid of it. So I can do a surplus resolution next commissioner meeting for that.
No liability to us if we give it away to somebody, is it? Just if it's surplus material, serve it.
Okay, I'll get the totals. I got totals and,
Surplus and not cutting it.
okay. Do that. So, I'd like to ask for executive session, the first one of 10 minutes.
I'll make a motion. We go into executive session for 10 minutes pursuant to 75-4319 B2 for potential litigation with Randy, commissioners, clerk, and the attorney. 10 minutes, returning at 9:26 in the commissioners annex room.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. There was no action. I'll make a motion, we go back into executive session for 5 minutes pursuant to 754319B2, potential litigation with Randy, the attorney, 2 commissioners, and the clerk. That's my motion.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Returning at 9:38. Okay, correction, returning, sorry, my son on, correction, returning at 9:33, right, 9:33, thanks. There was no action? Chris, are you ready? IT. Good morning.
Good morning. Chris Martin, Linn County IT. Year to date, there have been 379 tickets open, 361 have been closed. In the last 30 days, we've had 7 after-hours emergency call-outs. We've set up 14 new computers in various offices. We replaced the oil pressure sensor in the health department generator. It's back up and running at the moment. We've tested and configured radios in 4 new vehicles. We replaced the emergency management office router, which that also plays over with Public Works there. And we cleaned up all the stuff. They had a pretty messy area up in the attic where we got that all cleaned up and looks good now. We assisted the appraisers department with some printing issues. They're getting ready to do a big print, and so we put a printer over there so they can do that right there in the building instead of having to come over to the old courthouse. We set up some equipment in the new election room over in the old district court building. We fixed 2 request to exit buttons at the Justice Center. I don't know if you've ever been around building management, but you got to have a card to get in, but you got to push a button to exit. We had a couple of them that had failed, so we got those fixed up. We assisted the jail administrator with inmate invoice information printing. I think some of the people that they bill for inmate housing, they wanted more information on the invoices, so we work with them to accommodate that. We set up 28 new cell phones for the sheriff's office. Now, the vast majority of those were brought over from the old carrier, so it was a transfer to a new carrier, but that's been completed. We completed the separation of our Active Directory infrastructure in Office 365. We did rebuild a computer in the booking room. Something happened, the boot sector on it was messed up, but the computer didn't seem like it needed replacing, so we just went ahead and rebuilt it, and it's been working fine since. We corrected a problem with printing jail inmate ID cards. Again, that was for the jail. We assisted Public Works with information regarding the old sheriff's office building generator. We moved equipment around in the clerk's office. Assisted the sheriff's office with electronic submission of report data to the state. So their monthly reporting that goes to KBI, there was a problem. We helped fix that up with them in the state. We began work on bringing the new operations radio frequency online. We cleaned, so we've been doing maintenance at the tower sites, but also our mobile radio trailer. So we cleaned the repeaters and realigned the duplexers on that. We also added a new feature. So one of the things that we wanted to do was, in the event of an emergency, is make sure that we were able to communicate with not only surrounding agencies, but any agency. That's our ultimate goal in that. So there's 3 repeaters that are in that trailer. There's an 800 meg, a UHF, and a VHF. Now those are separate systems. You know, they don't normally talk to each other, but we looked for, and we wanted to interface all 3 repeaters into one system. So if we had a terrible emergency, a tornado or something event, and our infrastructure was offline with the county system, we would be able to use that trailer to talk with Highway Patrol or another agency that's on K6 with MOSWIN. That's a 7,800 meg system out of Missouri. Allen County uses UHF. We use VHF. Bourbon County's VHF. But with that, buying a device to connect 3 cross-banded repeaters like that would be somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000. Seemed excessive, so we built one ourselves. It cost us about $500. We've tested it and it works really well, so pretty happy with that. And then the website, I haven't finalized the date, but it looks like we should be going live probably later in April on the website. So
Will we have a chance to preview it before you go live in here?
I already have with the clerk. There was an approval process that she went through with the group.
Are we gonna see it?
I mean, you can, that's fine.
I'll let him finish it. I'll get to the reading. tell them about what they're training tomorrow and all of that?
Yeah, I mean, the admin stuff with the clerk and IT will be tomorrow. The departments, there's 12 seats available that I think are filled at this point, that they'll be doing training Wednesday and Thursday for how the departments manage their pages and fill their content out and that kind of stuff. Then after that, there will be a couple more trainings next week. Some of those might be admin, some of those might be, we have to kind of see what tomorrow brings to know who needs to be in next week's training.
Do you have any update on like the Zoom capabilities for the meetings?
Yeah, so I've looked at that, and there's a piece of hardware we're probably going to end up having to buy. It's maybe $100, but I'm gonna take one from another thing that we're using it to test it first before we go spending $100 for it. But I think that would probably be the simplest, easiest option, to be able to plug it into a computer and get the audio in and out from the machine without having extra drivers and things like that.
Will you bring that back to us? Cost, all of that, or are you just trying to find
Right
a
now,
solution?
I'm just trying to find the solution to determine what that'll be. Like I say, if it's $100 and some, I know the device itself was $120 or something like that. It's not crazy expensive.
You feel like every department's had an opportunity to tell them exactly what they want on it and look at it, and
They're going to put their own stuff
Changes.
on it. Yeah, that's what the training's for. They'll manage their own page.
Similar to what it will look like. Chris did the talking. He's gonna, this is, oh, yeah, here we go. So there's going to be all of our little things at the bottom, contact information, and then under each department, as Chris mentioned, oh, sorry. As Chris mentioned, each department will be able to go in and change their things, add whatever documents that they want to, that sort of thing. So
we have somebody in each department that will take care of their own website.
they'll attend training with us over the next few days as time moves forward. There'll be some widgets that will be added into this as well. So this isn't straight up live where you could see it. It's just for us to be able to go in and
Look at the layout. Can you click on the home tail there?
this piece.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and that top banner, it actually rotates. That was just one of the images that they took, or I think maybe we submitted, but everything in here is just a filler. Until we get through the next few days, that's when we'll actually look at how to complete this.
Anything specific? I don't know.
I'll let you guys continue working on it before I give my.
Yeah, I mean, the design is actually already,
Yeah,
so as far as this point, the layout and everything, like I say, they ran it through the committee and everything, so it's in place. This is the design as far as the layout. And then we'll just have the departments fill out their pages. They pulled over.
So you're only having 3 at the top. It says government, departments, and community, and how do I at the top? That's it.
Yeah, those are menus. That's what.
So if you click on them, then they have all of the different. So then you can come down here and go to agricultural use, and then the information will be in there.
Anything else? No? Okay.
What I do on the generator that's over at the courthouse, I thought that was large enough to run the courthouse. Was it?
No, so, well, I say no. What it was originally designed for, at least what I was told it was engineered for, was the government center and parts of the old courthouse, not the whole old courthouse. I think their intent was to keep the boiler part going for heat in the winter, and then certain circuits throughout the building maybe, is what I understood. Was that, but that was actually done by an engineer that was a part of the original design on the projects and those. So I don't know about sizes or load or that. I just know it is a big generator, not as big as the Justice Center one, I'll grant you that. But as far as what its full load capacity is, and how they also calculate that. So, I know that, they always want a margin,
Right.
a certain amount, that kind of thing, to make sure that it doesn't get overloaded. So as far as hooking it to one building, the other, or both, I would anticipate that, well, I know I've seen a message from Jesse that it probably isn't big enough to do, certainly not the entire old courthouse. That's my understanding. But, with nothing really being on the second floor, I don't even know what the loads are in the old courthouse anymore.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just can you come back in on the 30th regarding the Zoom meetings?
I can.
I just don't want to have to keep,
No, I agree.
in my
Like I say,
calendar.
I have the device. I'll test it probably this week and verify. I mean, if the device is $120, I'll just order one and put it in, and that'll solve the problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I don't have anything.
All right, thanks.
Have a good day. Jesse?
Our attorney's here for our executive session. To pick it up for that 10 minutes with Jesse, right? Is that what you want?
Is he available? I'll make a motion. We go into executive session for 10 minutes with Jesse, clerk, commissioners, and the attorney and Joni, pursuant to 75-4319B for financial matters. Returning at 9:59 in the commissioner's annex room. That's my motion.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. There was no action. I think you want to start with the Marina.
Yeah, if we can.
That's fine with me.
You want to hold my hand? We back on?
Sure.
Sherry Loveland, Linn County Park. You guys still have copies of the open bids from last week, or do you want a copy?
I think I still have it.
If you want them, I can bring them up here. Okay.
You can bring me a copy if you want to, and I'll just have it if you got it.
Before I copied them, I wrote on that one.
So,
Okay, thank you.
thanks.
Okay, so Jesse and I got together and reviewed the two bids last Thursday. I think it was Thursday afternoon, or no, that was morning. Anyway, we discussed it and the one from Jim Lawson, he forgot to add recessed lighting in. So the other one seems to cover everything that Jesse told him that they needed in the cabins, the one from Darren and Jamie Shackelford. So we're leaning towards going with that one. The total for the awning, the full bunk bed with 2 drawers, and that's a twin over a full bunk bed with 2 drawers. Mini split, 12,000 BTU with an AC and heater with wiring and install, kitchen and wall cabinets with sink and faucet, table and chairs, recessed lighting, swivel TV mount, 28-inch bathroom vanity with sink, and LUT plank flooring, 600 square foot. Total materials, $10,512.61. And if we go with the sheetrock for the ceiling and walls, which was something else Jesse had suggested, they just want to put the sheetrock over the top of the old wood paneling and then put sheetrock on the ceiling to give it a new look afterwards. He put that at, that's without the sheetrock for ceiling and walls. He took off, it's $9,712.61. He has the labor down as $4,400. The flooring is $1,200 and a figure below. Total bid, $16,112.61 with the sheetrock. Total bid without the sheetrock, $14,912.61. Any questions?
The only comment I would just have, I don't have a visual, I don't have any material, color schemes. I don't know.
I know.
What we're doing here. I don't know. That's it.
Okay.
Do you have any concerns with that? Or, I mean, are you gonna micromanage that a little bit?
I
Or
can micromanage it. But I think with the idea of new sheetrock, new ceiling, recessed lighting, new flooring, my people are gonna tear the old stuff out. I mean, Jesse pretty much told him how you wanted the bed, right? Because I was gone, but he was one ramrod in that part anyway. So I don't know. You think that's okay? Yeah, without the visuals, I think we can keep an eye on what they're doing and make sure it's done correctly.
And we have money in our park account for this.
Yeah, the only thing with me overseeing it, we go to 7 days a week in 3 weeks, 2 weeks. And then I run the marina 20 hours a week. So you have to remember that if I shut the marina down and run up there to deal with stuff, I will. But I also am running the marina half of my time. So
Well, I do think that you have an option to go back to this company and also ask them to provide color schemes, swatches, material, flooring, paint colors.
The one
and
we
approve
chose?
everything. Yeah.
Okay. We're supposed to start this April 1st, but I guess we could move the dates forward. I don't know how far forward cabin 6 is not rented, but I'm thinking not until July, so.
Is that something that you could go back and ask them to provide before approval?
I don't know. I don't know. Do you know? After they bid on something, can I request that they give me color swatches and all that, paint colors, all that?
I don't see why not. It's just a bid.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. Do you want to see what that's going
you?
to be?
What do you
No,
think?
I'm good,
You wanna
with
go?
whatever, you guys, you're more into detail than I am.
What are your thoughts?
I'd like to know what colors they're going to use and be agreed upon, or they agree with us on kind of what color scheme we want.
I would prefer that also moving forward. That's something like if you like and what they're doing, then we go to the next cabin, right? And then you don't have to worry about that any longer.
Oh, we
It
don't
would
have to
get-
bid again on another.
Well, I'm just saying you could, you know what you want. You have something.
Oh, going
Go
forward.
look back at like how we like this paint color. This is the swatch we use. This is the bunk bed that they put in.
Right.
Whether it's Home Depot, IKEA cabinets, what are we getting? What color of faucets, showers, hardware? I mean, there's a lot that goes into this.
Okay.
The details to me.
Yeah, we're
do
not
matter.
doing, the only thing we're doing in the bathroom this time is a new vanity, so, but yes, I get what you're saying.
With the sinks and the faucets is what you want, let's see what you're getting. Okay.
Okay. So you guys are acceptable of this bid then?
I would say it was contingent upon what they provide regarding.
What they provide for colors and more of a
Scenes,
idea, drawing of
you know.
some kind of how the bunk bed will look or something?
Something. I
Okay.
just,
You want to see a picture of the vanity?
I'd like
and
to see
everything that they're
something.
doing? Is that what
I
you
think
want?
that
You want to see
at
the-
least she should see it and
see the
approve it.
picture of the vanity and the picture of what the bed will look like.
If
and
we want to stay
show-
out of it, I'm okay with approving it and moving forward with her. I'm okay with that. But I would,
Okay.
If you are waiting to approve the bid to see those additional specs and stuff like that, then you need to decide whether that's something that you want to send back to all of them, or if you're accepting this bid and you want them to sort of give you the options within the bid that they have already provided.
Can we accept the bid with Sherry's approval on what they use?
and then if Sherry doesn't like something or wants to change something, then she comes back to us. That's still appropriate?
I mean, if it's affecting the ultimate bid,
Right.
that is allowed for the other bidders to participate. If it's not affecting the bid, is inevitably, whenever they gave the bid, they understood what items that included.
Are you okay with that, Sherry? Or
That's fine.
how do you want to, what are your thoughts?
If you want to go ahead and approve it on the grounds that we are agreeable on the color scheme and the type of cabinet or the, everything, the details of it all, I'm fine with that. And then I can come back to you guys if it's over the amount they thought it would be, or I don't agree with what they want to do or something. Is that correct?
I'm fine with that.
So then what, does that kick the bid out if they said they're not gonna approve what Sherry wants at that same dollar figure?
I mean, that's what I'm saying, is that inevitably the bid that they gave you included what they thought they could get for the bed, for the vanity, etc. And so if you want to be able to evaluate what those are and compare them, then you could circle back with all of the bidders. Or if this is the bid that you want to accept, then you need to know what that bid included as far as those, were there any options within that bid?
Basically, you want more detail, correct? I don't know if he's
Sounds like-
building
yeah,
the bunk bed or he's buying the bunk bed. I don't know.
With the two bids, I feel that we never required anything, right? I mean, just remodel. So if this is what you want, Ally, we've got to go back and detail what,
No, I don't think so.
What
I
we're
don't think we
asking.
have to go back. I think everything's in there. I mean, but you guys just mentioned mattresses. I mean, mattresses aren't even listed on this. So I mean, there are issues with the details, but I think we can go back and just out of her budget buy a mattress if we need to. This is fine the way it is. This is fine.
Okay.
But regarding the mattress, that's not in here. So
Right.
yeah, that's not part of the bid. Or
And-
sheets or anything like that. So
This is a different subject, but I found a 9-inch mattress like we used before, which are the sealed mattresses, but it's got coils in it. I put 2 in cabin 7 and they're very comfortable and they're very nice. So they're very heavy though for whoever has to make those beds if they're back in the walls, right? I think I thought they were closer to 300, but I looked at them this morning. They're about $250 a piece. So we put them in 7 because it's the Airbnb, and I think that they will work going forward because they're water resistant too still. So
that's nice. I'm okay with this. Are you okay with it?
I'm good with it.
Get something started. I'll make a motion. We approve cabin 6 remodel in the total amount of $16,112.61.
With the
They're-
sheetrock.
That's with the sheet. That's with the sheetrock. Did they have a company name or is it just under their name?
I guess it's just under their name,
Okay, so it's Warren and Jamie Shacklefield.
Darren and
Shackelford?
Jamie. It's hard to see
Oh.
on that, but it's Darren
Darren
and Jamie Shackelford.
Shackelford. And that's my motion.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Have a good week. Jesse?
Morning, Commissioners. Jesse Walton with Linn County Public Works. If I could, I'd like to request a 5-minute executive session for employee performance with the commissioners and legal and the clerk.
I'll make a motion that we go into executive session for 5 minutes. Commission, Jesse, legal, and the clerk, returning at 10:17.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. There was no action.
Commissioners, with the insurance work that's being done on our buildings, I would like to make a partial payment to Dave Sutter for $160,403.29.
Do you have the paper in front of you?
Oh, what?
Sorry, I didn't get the amount. Can you say the amount again? 1,000? Okay.
$403.29.
I'll make a motion. We approve a payment to Dave Sutter in the amount of $160,403.29.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
This last week, we had a lot of trees go down, so we've been out cleaning trees up. We started replacing culverts in Blue Mound. We have 2 of those culverts replaced. We're gonna replace 1 more there, then we're moving up to Centerville to start replacing the culverts on the road going west out of Centerville. The motor grader, that's down in Chanute, we should be able to go pick that machine up either tomorrow or Wednesday. They were doing a few other things with it for their process of swapping a motor out. Everything went good with that, so we should be getting that machine back this week. I sent you the cost to repair our track loader. This came in significantly more than what I thought it was going to be. They end up, I put the response from the service shop on the notes there. Apparently there was damage to both of the pumps, so both of the pumps need to be replaced.
And that was the
$30,111.69.
111.69.
Yes.
And you say this unit has 40-some hundred hours.
It's got about 4,500 hours on that machine. So
Did they have any idea what caused it?
they don't know what caused it, what came apart and what's causing it to shell out. They didn't see anything that was obvious as they were pulling things apart and checking filters. So
They'll flush the system and everything.
yep, they'll go through and flush the system and replace filters on it. This is also our backup machine when our landfill loader goes
That's
in need.
963.
Yes.
That's a lot of money, but I know it's not many hours either, so it's got to be fixed.
I'm fine with that.
You good with it?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion. We approve the $30,111.69 for the Cat 963 repair.
I'll second. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you. Let's see. I do have the mowing bids were due on Friday. So I have 1 mowing bid that came in that we can open up.
We had 1 mowing bid.
1 mowing.
That's it.
Okay. Sorry, did you want to? You're holding on to your.
Laid mine out today, so you wouldn't make me look. I knew you was gonna bring me one, so dug mine up.
Okay. This is for.
Same company we've used before, then
I'm not sure who that one's from. They,
Scarecrow.
yeah, that's who we used last year.
You have an idea what it was last year?
I don't know. I'll have to look back through the bids from last year. I do remember it being broken up per location.
It's happens, it is broken up now.
Okay.
Total.
Do you have a total for last year? What we
No
paid
idea
out to
what the total
Scarecrow?
bid was last year.
Thank you. I mean, if it went up, I'm not surprised,
No,
but
I mean, I'm just. That's all
Yep.
I'm doing.
Yeah, I'd compare with last year's.
for this year, the total for the season is $20,367 for Scarecrow mowing. They're out of Lewisburg. It's mowing.
Just knowing.
Scarecrow Farms, I
Oh.
think is what it is under.
Yes, we need to verify that it's compared to what it was last year.
Yep.
Scarecrow Farm Lawn Care, sorry. Yeah, we'll go ahead and give this back to you to
Yep.
go ahead and qualify it, make sure everything on there is accurate.
Oh, that's Joyce's. Let me go and look.
Okay.
And that's all I have unless you have any questions for me.
I don't think I have anything.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Have a good week. All right, while she's looking into that, you want to go into executive session? Actually, I guess I open up for public comment.
Yeah.
No one's here. So we'll go ahead and close public comment and go into executive session for 10 minutes with the attorney and the commissioners
Yep.
for non-elected personnel.
That's fine. And then in the meantime, I will get Paul Hughes on. He's supposed to be at 10:30. And he's our next person, so.
Okay.
That's my motion, 10 minutes, returning at 10:37 to the commissioner's annex room.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
There was no action. Does Jesse need to come in now, or? We'll be right with you. What was his name? Paul. Did Chris see that he had his device already here?
I don't know.
Hi, Jesse.
Oh. Hang on. I would like to have an executive session pending litigation for 10 minutes with the litigation counselor, outside counselor, me, and the commissioners for 10 minutes.
I will grant that to you, but can we conduct the Zoom meeting with Paul first?
Yes.
And then
Yep.
I have it on there, and then we'll get back to you.
Okay.
In just a second.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Paul. How are you?
Thanks for having me today.
You're welcome.
Are we prepared to get started, or is there anybody else we're waiting for?
We are prepared to get started. You may go ahead. You turn that on.
Let me get this.
It's as high as it's gonna go.
Okay.
I'm gonna get this shared here. Okay, you should be seeing my presentation deck now. Is that what you're looking at?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Thank you. Should get the right screen pulled up here. Okay, so real quickly today, I just wanted to be able to present this information on Opportunity Zones 2.0, which was made a permanent program under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. And can I see a quick raise of hands? Is there any prior knowledge of the Opportunity Zone program, or should I spend a minute on background there?
I'm somewhat familiar with it, but you can go ahead and give us 2 minutes of background. That's fine.
Sure. So the Opportunity Zone program was an investor program that was initiated in 2017. Really, the rules were in place to begin working the program in 2018. And the goal of the program was to incentivize investors for placing their investments in specific qualifying census tracts. They qualified under some income qualifications and being adjacent to those that qualified for income reasons. And the goal was to stimulate investment in those areas. In some communities, they were trying to address blight. It might have been an old abandoned building. Others were trying to address housing shortages in certain communities. But in all, there were about 250 qualifying census tracts in Kansas. And similar to the initial program, the state gets to nominate 25% of those census tracts. Previously, that allowed for 74 census tracts across all of Kansas. Under the new bill, however, the requirements were raised a bit to where it's harder to qualify for the program. And that will have an effect on the state in terms of the number of census tracts. And that gets complicated a bit when the natural progression of these census tracts is that they change shape. Sometimes they're combined over time. But again, the goal of the program was to draw in investment. And in exchange for those investments, if they stayed in those investments for 10 years or more, the capital gains on that investment was permanently exempt from federal taxation. The important thing for the investors on this program, however, is that the funds have to pass through a qualified opportunity fund. Those are identified through the U.S. Treasury, the IRS tax forms here. They're required to have their funds invested 90% at any given time. So what tends to happen is when
when they have a project identified, that's when they accept their individual contributor investments and then place that almost immediately into a community investment that they've identified. The other calibration piece here on where they can invest and what they can invest in is that at least 50% of the earnings of that investment have to come from within the census tract. And while this was really originally intended to be like a business and small business leveraging tool, it became very popular in multi-family housing and build to lease residential communities. So there's a benefit there on the residential side if you're interested in it. And so as we're taking a look at the new program, the questions were really what's different under this. And by and large, the way that the program operates remains substantially the same. There's a huge benefit in people now being familiar with the program. In 2017, when this was rolled out, it was done so retroactively to January of that year. And so it was difficult for anybody who was prepared to make an investment to do so retroactively. This time we see it coming forward. The next window of time runs from January 1 of 2027 to December 31st of 2036. The portfolio managers have also had more time to identify investments that they're interested in. They're able to apply lessons that they've learned. And so having this benefit of hindsight now on the investment side is also helping out to understand where infrastructure build out is happening. So under the 2.0 program, what we're seeing here is that the total number of nominations that the governor can make to U.S. Treasury has been reduced from 74 to 52. And again, that's because of the change in the requirements for the program. And so what we understand now is based on these new rules, about half of the opportunity zones in the state of Kansas won't re-qualify under this new program. So as we're going forward and looking at the nomination process and everything else, we're trying to get the message out to communities to make sure that they understand whether or not they're affected by these changes before they make their nominations. We're getting a lot of communities reaching out, asking what should they be doing now. One key thing that everybody in the U.S. is waiting on right now is that the census tract data that's needed for this process was transferred to U.S. Treasury, where they publish an official list of the actual census tracts that will be allowed to be nominated. That was expected to happen last month, and we're still waiting for U.S. Treasury to release that list. But this link here, and this file is included with the meeting invitation. But the link on here will give you a sense, based on the census data, they're kind of synthesizing what the new maps are going to look like. So that tool is available. We encourage communities to use it. And in this round of nominations, just the fact that a community is eligible already explains the need. So we're asking that they not spend a lot of time on need statements, but rather how are they going to support their opportunity zone should they be granted one. And so it's kind of a blend between how do we make this attractive to investors, and how do we promote this with a bit of a marketing plan. So as we're moving forward here, we'll be hosting another workshop on the nomination process on April 3rd. We'll be sending that invitation out to economic development directors across the state. We have a distribution list for many of the mayors and also their staff across the state. I think that goes out to about 1,100 people across the state for that next workshop. All of this is leading up to the June 1st deadline to have nominations submitted to Commerce. That gives us about 30 days to go through about 200 of those and make the recommended list of 52, submit that to the governor's office for her staff to then forward to U.S. Treasury when the window opens on July 1st. Treasury will be notifying communities in November of this year whether or not they're an official opportunity zone, and then investments can begin in those opportunity zones beginning in January of 2027. So that's kind of where we're at on the program. We've got some resources here for Opportunity Zones 2.0. On this page is an actual guide, and I can get this to you if you'd like for me to just email it. But there's a guide specifically for mayors and governors to help them kind of navigate the process and how to nominate opportunity zones within their facility. So that's kind of where we're at with the program now. We're in a hover pattern right now, waiting for the official list to come from U.S. Treasury, but I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
I don't really have any questions. I think that every year we sign the Oz, right? Like the opportunity zones, but we don't really do anything with it. So I don't know what we're,
Do these zones have to be in the city limits or?
The census tracts are within your respective areas. So it could be within a county, they could be rural. We're receiving calls from USDA and from HUD with this recommendation, if you will, that we emphasize rural investments in the state. I think that's kind of a general pattern they're shooting for across the country. But in terms of the what happens within the opportunity zones, Chair Hamilton, I think that's one of the things that we're trying to press on here is just having the designation alone isn't sufficient to attract the investor interest. And so we're trying to develop, for lack of a better term, a marketing plan around each of these opportunity zones as part of the promotion for those types of investments.
okay. We do not have an economic development director. We do not have that department working at this time.
Is there an
We-
alternate contact you'd like for us to send that information to?
I guess to all three commissioners at this point. You good with that?
I'm good with that. That's right now, that's all we have.
So when we have, as a commissioner, when we do get a phone call and someone's trying to come into this community and invest, which I have had that recently, is this something you're saying that we can direct them to you to kind of work this out, or how do we form a relationship?
I think you'll want to have somebody designated either within the commission or on staff to field what would effectively be an investor relations sort of conversation to understand what sort of investments that they're interested in making. We see some that have an interest in infrastructure, some that have an interest in housing, but to understand what sort of relationship they're looking for and then bringing that to the commission for direction. But we'll need somebody who's staffed and within Linn County to be able to receive those types of calls.
So we'll work on getting you a point of contact for investor relations, and then also on the opportunity zone, do you have Linn County alone, the standalone document? Like which areas in our county that we're focused on, or is that just something we decide?
No, that's I'll provide that link to you. But that mapping tool, there's specific census tracts that will qualify. Most do not. So it's important to understand which ones within Linn County are on that list, and I can get that mapping tool to you.
I think that we would need to know what areas.
First,
That'd be the first step, so we know.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then we can put that out to the public on the areas that would be investor opportunities. Make sure it aligns with the land that we have also for like our industrial park, probably.
Does the county play a financial role in this if it was to come to the county?
It depends on the type of investment that we're talking about. When investors are looking at an opportunity zone and they're thinking about making an investment there, they may be interested in, let's just say for the sake of discussion, it's multifamily housing that they're interested in. They may be asking for either roadway improvements, they may be asking for water improvements, or even improved power delivery. It just depends on the size of the project and the nature of the project. So they won't be asking for investment in what they're investing in. It's likely going to be an infrastructure ask that they have for the county, if it's any ask at all.
I think at this time, it's just gonna be put on the commission to work with investors in the opportunity zones.
Right. And what we're working on developing is a list of who those qualified opportunity funds are and the types of projects that they're looking for, so we can kind of play matchmaker and what the community's interests are. If there are already projects identified within the community, that would be helpful to know during the nomination process.
Okay, so where we're at now is we need to get a map from you.
That, and I will send that information. That's included in this presentation. It's in the meeting invitation, and I can email it to you as well.
I'm in it now. I clicked on the link for February 26th on the eligible tracks, but it just comes to a United States map.
All right, can you zoom in on that? Is it allowing you to zoom in on it?
Yes.
And when you hover over, as you get closer to Kansas, or zoomed in on Kansas, as you hover over each of the boxes, it should indicate which county it's in.
Okay, hold on. So it looks like there's only one area on the 69 highway corridor that's eligible. Everything else says no.
59?
69.
That's excellent.
Mhm.
Okay.
If I'm reading that correctly, everywhere else I put the cursor, it says no. So anything, oh my gosh, this is not easy to say no.
Are the boundaries familiar? Are they like streets or rivers or anything that you can recall? Or
Yeah, I understand where it's at.
okay, good. Okay.
But like,
So
see, you
also,
can hover over there and it'll say no. So anything like Trading Post area, that's out south, and anything Lacing, Kansas west, that's out. So it's basically north of Trading Post on 69 all the way back to the power plant, including Lynn Valley Lakes. That's the only area that's eligible. So if it's green, that's what I'm looking at, right? The green.
correct.
Yeah.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay.
And if you have somebody
So-
on staff, they may want to, and you've got certain projects that are preconceived for that sort of for that census tract. We've included a kind of a final draft version of the nomination scoring rubric. rubric. So you may want to have somebody begin building the business case for the opportunity zone now. Plenty of time before the June 1st deadline. But it will allow us some opportunities to get back on the phone together and iterate on what your nominations look like before everything is due.
I mean, in the past, I've never heard the commission really push it. It's just kind of dead in the water situation. We sign the Oz with you, and it's just nothing goes forward. So you're asking us as the commission to kind of push it for our community, show the community our tract of land where opportunities exist. And if the opportunities exist in that land and they own land in that area or want to buy and build in that area, what are the benefits that these investors are getting? Are they getting a
They're-
smaller loan, like interest rate
They're- they're
loan?
rec- They're receiving something that's of great interest to them, especially if it's a real estate investment group. They're receiving a permanent capital gains tax exemption on their investment if they stay in that investment 10 years or longer.
And then they go through the Department of Commerce to apply for this?
The qualified opportunity funds are actually reporting directly to the IRS. So, which makes tracking this information pretty difficult. We would be nominating this census tracts on behalf of the state. U.S. Treasury would then publish their official list of who they're agreeing, yes, these are the opportunity zones for the nation. And at that point, it becomes a bit of a stampede of investor interest because they're looking across the country for opportunity zones and where they might be able to invest.
Part of that is the fishing game and the lake, right?
No, actually, the Marinazine Wildlife, I think, is,
But I
oh,
mean,
over
the lake-
here, yeah.
The lake could be there. I mean, the power plant
The
lake.
power
so what I'm
plant,
saying is
yeah.
all of that, there's a huge. To get back to trading post, it wouldn't be in here, yeah.
Mhm.
No.
I'm sorry, this map is really difficult. I'm not trying to not show you what you're asking.
I
can't,
understand.
I don't understand this. Like I'm touching the screen and it's
Yeah.
just going bonkers.
Perfect. They'd be back down here. A lot of this would be.
Understand why it's doing that. Can't figure that out, but
Listen, there would be the lake. Power plant.
is this map, you said this isn't 100% yet?
It's not. The U.S. Treasury has not released their map, and that's the official map. There are some organizations out there that are promoting the Opportunity Zone program, but they may have interest in the rural parts of the country, and so they want to see rural aware of the program and investing in it. So they're the ones creating this tool. Because we don't have the official list, the state won't be publishing one of their own until U.S. Treasury publishes that.
Okay. So we see the map. The official, can you give us an email when the official is out?
Yes,
Okay.
that will be the plan. Yeah, yeah.
And then once that's done, we can, I guess I would want to be able to show or tell the public what the benefits are, like you were talking about capital gains exemption if your business is in 10 years or longer, all of those, all the benefits, bullet points.
Absolutely. And so we have a lot of that developed on our website so that we can start pushing the public to the state's website on that now. But the key gain for the benefit to the community is that you're attracting an investor that might not have otherwise looked at this area, and they're qualifying based on very low incomes. So generally this either means either housing or jobs that are going into a community that's qualifying on low income.
Okay. I'm on your website now. I'm looking at it. I think we need to probably decide if we want to push it or not. That'd be number one. Once the map comes in, and then
Yep.
I can do some more digging on your website on Kansas Department of Commerce. Because in the past, just with my experience with the state, they kind of already have these brochures or flyers, things that you can publish. We don't have to recreate the wheel here, right?
Well, right. There's really two angles that we need to attack. One is just awareness of what the program is and why it has benefit to the community. And there's volumes of information on that. The next then is how are we going to promote the census tract? And that's where we need community involvement and community leadership to say this is what's important to us. This is what we're trying to attract here, and this is how we intend to promote this. Whether it's in you mentioned earlier, you don't have an economic development director, but as an example, a community could take its opportunity zone and be promoting that when they're responding to a call for sites on an economic development project coming from the state. Having that defined as a census, as an opportunity zone could potentially be one factor in their decision on where to locate the project.
Okay. All of these applications are for fiscal year 24. So will those be updated online or?
They
I'm
will
just
be, yes.
Looking, yeah, okay. It says program guidelines, the RAWS program guidelines download fiscal year 24. So I didn't know if that was something that.
And there is a distinction between rural opportunity zones and
Yeah.
the federal opportunity zone program.
Okay. If it's green on the map, is that federal or is that rural?
If it's green, it could be, if it's green on the map, that's what the US Census data is saying is a qualifying census tract.
Which means it's federal or RAWS?
It means that it's a correct federal. Sorry,
Okay.
I missed the question. Yeah.
Okay. I would like to keep the conversation open. I'm obviously not super familiar with it.
Right.
But I think it could be a great opportunity for us to push to get people here. Just looking at the map, I wish it was a little bit more south so we could have our industrial park and the land that we own for the county included in that, because there's not a lot we can offer someone as a commission. It's
And
gonna
to
have,
me, that area is more built up than
yeah,
the rest of the county. I mean, as
Yeah.
far as housing.
yeah. I mean, they have Linn Valley Lakes. It's growing
It's growing fast.
fast. So
There's a lot more.
there's more in what you have as the rural opportunity zone there than any other location in our county. We have more population there probably than the entire county. Right?
More building as far as new houses and things in that area.
I would
than
say.
I would say any portion of the county.
Is it an existing opportunity zone now? Do you know? Under the previous program? Because that might be what's driving the investment in housing.
I guess I don't remember seeing. So when we sign the Oz, I don't see a map at that time. We just sign that we are agreeing to basically go into a contract with you guys that we support your program, but we are out of it. And I think this is the first time we maybe had a conversation of like, okay, what exactly does this mean? How can we help? So I guess I don't know what the map looked like in the previous years. Don't even know if I've signed or been here long enough to.
I know last year in my position, I didn't even get a conversation like this. I just got the email and I brought the odds to you.
Yeah, I think
And
we
then
signed it,
it.
but we never
I didn't
saw a
know.
map or anything like that. So
Multiple times.
Mhm.
it is something that we do sign every year, but as far as the work we put into it, limited or none. So I would like to keep the conversation open to see how we can at least let the community know that are living in those areas that they have an opportunity to develop something there, and this is what their benefits from that are. But
Okay.
unfortunately, that area is just not, we don't own land in that area. We do have the lake there, but that's on a lease, so I don't know how that, I doubt we would.
Leasing, it comes into leasing a little bit,
Mhm.
but you know, the industrial park,
There's not but
nothing
one
left.
lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
right, one
basically
lot.
done. So, yeah. So, did you want to get with Chastity on the next time you wanted to come and meet with us, or?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We'll work out calendars on when that works, and we'll continue working this towards the June 1st deadline to help everybody get their nominations in.
Sounds great. Let's shoot for sure when you get the map.
Okay. We'll get that established. I just checked the U.S. Treasury this morning and it still wasn't out. So
Okay.
it's something we're checking every day to see when that becomes available.
Okay. Yeah. If you want to shoot us an email whenever you have the map updated, and then we can work with getting it back on the agenda.
Very good.
I'm excited. Thank you so much for calling
All
in
right,
today.
thank you. Any other questions?
I think I have more, but not today. But yeah, I
Okay.
do think that I'll kind of lay some things out that's on my mind later
Sounds
discussion.
good. Thanks for your time this morning. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right.
Mhm.
We'll see you.
Bye. Take that away. My face is so big there. Jesse, are you ready?
Due to a scheduling conflict with the outside counselor, we need to move it to next week if we can put it on the agenda for next week.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
10:30.
Yeah.
10:30.
10:30. Yeah. All right, moving into handbook. I'll stop sharing if you need to share the screen.
I think we should wait on that until we get all three commissioners, or not? Are you good with two?
It's up to you. There are just a couple questions that I have regarding it. Like
Okay.
honestly, 3 that if you want me to ask them and then just, I can get an answer back.
You want to ask and then see, because I'm not going to be here next week, so
Right.
if there's something I can say.
That's what I'm
you guys
saying.
Can
Yep.
decide next week. Yep.
Yeah,
that's
I think they're pretty quick. And I mean, I just wanted to bring them to your attention after we've made all of the changes that we have. I have, the first one is just confirming the sick leave. Currently, right now, we do not have prorated of accumulation of 8 hours for sick and 6.67 hours for vacation. And I'm just confirming that that is correct. If somebody starts, I don't know. I don't know. Earn 4 hours per calendar month. Okay. Part-time employees regularly scheduled to work at least 20 hours per week can earn 4 hours per calendar month. The question is, does it accrue during leaves? That answer is no. We already discussed that. If they're not actively working, they're not doing that. Okay. And then the second part was just prorated for partial months, beginning or end of the employment. So example would be, if somebody comes in at the middle of the month, or do they have to work a full Is it just, are we starting at the first of the month that they can start accruing it for that following month? Versus coming in like on the 15th of the month, does it start on the 1st? I go trying to find the page. Do you want me to guide you to that? No, okay. So I'm just confirming that you do or do not want proration for the time frame that they come in. And in this same way,
Is what you're saying, basically,
For what?
prorating the 2 weeks to where they get a half.
correct. Yeah. It's a nightmare for us and in that part of it, but if that's what you want us to do, we'll do it. The second part to that is if an employee leaves, at like halfway through, whether it's vacation or retirement, resigning, or terminated, do they earn half of that time that what they would have got on the first of the month? If, let's say they leave the
So you're
20th of
saying
the
that
month.
Basically, to receive their full pay for the first 2 weeks or first year, they'll have to work 12 months and 2 weeks, basically. I mean, to get the full amount of vacation. If they start in the middle of the month.
I guess that's what I need clarification. So they're not receiving 8 hours of time or that 6.67 hours of vacation time until they've worked a year. Is that correct?
I don't know how it is. I don't know.
I was under the
I
impression
think
that
it's monthly, but what I'm saying is they wouldn't receive their full
40 hours of vacation.
for 12 months and 2 weeks is what you're saying, right? Because the first 2 weeks, if we choose not to prorate it,
I see.
the
Yes,
first
I
2
see what you're
weeks will
saying.
mean
Mhm.
nothing to their vacation or sick leave. Is that, you see it that way?
I see what you're saying.
I see what you're saying. I'm not.
I'm not agreeing with that either. I mean, I don't.
Not forming an opinion necessarily. I'm just listening.
Yeah.
I'm just saying is if, to stay on schedule, they're gonna have to work their full, or 12 months and 2 weeks in order to get what you normally get in 12 months. If you start in the middle of the month. Right?
Right. So if you start January 15th, you technically wouldn't get your vacation until February 1st of the following year. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Do we give it to them daily or monthly, or how do we do the vacation? I do not.
They receive each month, they accrue 8 hours of sick time and 6.67 hours of vacation time every month
After the year?
after the year.
After a year?
That's what I'm confirming. Accrued but unused sick leave may be case. Sick leave shall be, this is not clear on telling me when they start that. It is saying accrued but unused sick leave may be carried over from year to year, but accruals are capped at a total of 400 hours. Once an employee reaches over 400 hours, no further sick leave will accrue until they fall below that cap. I just don't know when this starts.
We need to look at it and see how it starts.
Because it doesn't state you can receive.
Some
Earns-
companies make you work the full year before you get your vacation. I don't know
Correct.
what this is before you get any. I mean, then once you're there, you get your 2 weeks or week or whatever it is.
And I know it is, I do know they don't receive a week's vacation until they've been here for a year, but I don't know about the sick time. Okay, I will inquire about that. That is definitely a question I will look into. Okay, the next question I have. The question HR and I both have is, currently in our handbook, it states employees can request unpaid leave for periods up to 1 year for personal reasons without loss of position. Before approving or denying any leave request, the department director, elected official, or commissioners shall consider the department's operating needs and employees' needs, job performance, and length of service. The HR is telling us that it is very generous for you to hold an employee's position for up to a year and reinstate them. I suggest removing the offer to hold all positions open unless it is for FMLA or ADA compliance. So in other words, if I wanted to go on a 1-year sabbatical for whatever reason, all I have to do is just get approval from my person, and you can't do anything with my position for a year. That is not,
You've been elected.
it eliminate me though as elected, though, even if I was just a hourly wage person. The question she's asking is, a year is a long time. And depending on what the different departments' needs are, a year is a long time. And I don't know if that's even been something that's been done in the past. Has there been somebody that's needed to take a year off for
Now,
a
with
specific
military or
reason?
anything like that, we do, and I mean,
Correct.
we're required.
Required to do that, yes. Mm-hmm. But this would be somebody that's like,
Just choose to take.
for whatever reason, without FMLA or an ADA
Right.
reason.
Strictly by choice.
Because obviously FMLA, we have to follow an ADA. Do you want a time frame in there? Do you want to eliminate that?
Why do you think we had the whole year in there to begin with?
I don't have any idea. I never knew.
And I don't know how long
I think
it's been
that's,
in there.
I think that is generous. I don't, because we have a position, we're requiring, we need the position, we wouldn't have it.
Correct.
I would like to go back to the way you are myself, I mean, what you're saying, FMLA or.
I would be fine with that. I just was trying to think of what situation in Linn County that we've ever even used that. Like maybe an injury, but that's
That would be
that's
FMLA,
LA,
workman's
so,
comp.
you know, it's like, okay, hold on. I would like to change it to what you're saying. You want to just ask Jason next week?
I would
Okay.
ask Jason, see what
Just
he
make
thinks.
sure he
If we
doesn't have a
reason
different
why,
idea.
we can make it, in 2 weeks, we can make a vote.
Okay.
And everybody knows, gives us time to think about it.
That one is like a question, and one more maybe. Okay, the last question I have for you is going back to the civil leave. We do have to, for grant reason funds, and Randy may need to correct me on this, but for grant reasons and the way money comes in when they volunteer or help at another location, we have to have it worded specifically. So I do have it worded that way. And that just states that employees shall be given necessary time off without loss of pay when they are called on by emergency management coordinator. And we had to have it worded that way, that we would grant them that because of the way they receive their grant funds. What it wants to know is that employees should provide advance written notice to their supervisor, whoever you are, the commissioners or emergency management, that they are volunteer emergency responders and may need to miss work for the purpose. Employees may be required to submit a verification of the date, time, emergency services required. Time off under this policy will be unpaid except that exempt employees may be paid as required by law. So I just want to clarify that that's okay. I mean, that's what she's highly recommended should be put in there. And I just want to make sure
So
you guys
any
are
hourly will just be off without pay, but we cannot stop them from going.
correct.
But or an exempt employee would be paid because they were.
Right, and they would be of needed. They would be of need, I guess. I think the way I'm understanding this is that I'm going to go back to years ago when the big fire in Fort Scott took place, and our individuals went down and assisted with that. I mean, if that was happening here, we would want assistance as well. So we just, again, the key component to this piece is to making sure it's worded correctly for Randy to submit the paperwork that helps them receive the grant funds that help offset some of those costs. So, and those are that's all I had question-wise. So I will plan to come back in 2 weeks with this, with a new cover page, a new front cover page, and completed documents. And in the meantime, I will reach out to Jason and ask about those couple of questions that we had, so I can hopefully have this absolutely ready to go in 2 weeks, which will be March 30th.
correct? Okay. I have are you ready for me? A couple things that I have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I have an invoice here from Amanda. This is a bill that was paid by Spark Funds up to 5 years. But because it's above $5,000, she needs a commission approval to submit this invoice for payment. And so this is the invoice. This is for their electronic health record system, Nightingale Notes, and it was purchased back in 2020.
Is it something that's in our budget? I mean, is it
Yeah,
budgeted to be
I-
paid?
As far as I'm understanding, that's the way it is coming out of, yes.
If it's in our budget and
Since it's our budget and it's not coming from anywhere else, she's budgeted for it, I'm good with it.
Okay. And then the only other thing I have is election software that took place last week is done and completed, and we will have training on that in the very near future.
So we need a
did I get
motion.
an assure? I didn't see the email on the information.
From
Oh, for
Assure,
HR, yeah.
I'm waiting for,
Okay,
I wanted a component that we discussed before I submit all that
You want to try
information
to
to you.
put that on for
Yep.
March 30th too?
Yep, I can
Okay.
do that.
Do we need a motion for this? I'll make a motion that we approve the CHAMP software for Linn County Health Department in the amount of $8,320. That's my motion.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's all I
You
have.
have anything? Jacqueline, you have anything else today? Next meeting, 10 minutes? 10 minutes. Cora,
Executive or just on the agenda?
executive or on the agenda? All right, I don't have anything else today. Do you have anything, Jim?
No,
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.